What's up? What's up? Before people jump in here and start asking questions and interacting with me, again, I told you guys I was going to do a discussion and interactive. I was going to do a video responses, but I figured it'd be easier to just have like a live discussion about the subject matter and, of course, whatever else comes up. But before we start, if you need to book a call or if you need advice, relationship advice, life coaching, anything like that, go to girltalkwithguys.com. Here, I'm gonna put the link in the description right now while I wait for people to jump on. Girltalkwithguys.com. All right. So boom. Um, what's going on, Nancy? Love and respect. How you doing? Um, Tanya, Lamissa, Rice. How y'all doing? So today I dropped a video. It was a quick discussion. I didn't do thumbnail art. I didn't SEO it. I didn't really do anything. I just really wanted to get to people who really engage with my content on a regular basis anyway. So if y'all want to talk about that, we can talk about that. I think the subject matter of today's conversation was what women need and want versus what they accept. The back and forth wasn't necessarily about me convincing you to do this or that. It's just about your experiences versus what you've always said you wanted in a relationship. A lot of people have not experienced those things they want, but they've been in many numerous relationships, and it would seem to me that sometimes we just need to get back to the practicality. Because one of the question that sparked today's video was just, and it was a 2-month-old question. I just wanted to really break this office in and start answering questions and start getting into content. I really love my new office, by the way, but I was testing the acoustics, trying to figure out how much padding I needed on the walls. I needed quite a bit, but we were just getting into it. So that was the question. Somebody said, what inner practices can you do or implement to make dating easier and more efficient and healthier to such a degree? And I guess the overall answer to my question, or to that question, my answer to it was pretty much to date with your mind and not your heart. Date with your principles and not your emotions. And the argument a lot of people wage against women, or the idea of that, is a woman's emotions are her principles, and therefore she's more loyal to her emotions than she is the things that she says she wants, or the things she might list on one of those papers. I'm not arguing whether or not that's true or false. I know for many people it's true, but it's not absolute, obviously. It's a generalization. But it's a great question, and it's also a great conversation to have. So if you go look at that video I did today, I'll still be doing video responses, and we'll still be engaging in a discussion about that. But if y'all just want to ask me questions, I don't have a lot of time on here. I do have a 6 o'clock. It's 5:15, 5:16 where I'm at now. So I have a 6 o'clock, so I won't be on here for a long time. I got my alarm set, and we're just gonna talk and chit chat until things until I gotta go, and I'll have to go pretty abruptly because I'll probably like hear the alarm and remember that I have something to do. So, love and respect. Thanks for joining me again. I just wanted to check the acoustics. How do I sound? How terrible are the acoustics? I'll see the comments eventually. I know it takes me forever to scroll. Again, for those who have been asking, you can get calls, coaching, girltalkwithguys.com. That's where you get it. I put the link at the very, very top. I'm in the top comment, girltalkwithguys.com. Just click that, and or copy and paste that, or copy it if you want to get a call or if you want to get coaching. Let me see. Somebody says, hello, Mr. Hick. You've helped me so much in the past month. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I haven't even dropped a video in about the past month. I've been very busy with my son. We had to move. We had to unbox. We've been doing a lot of different stuff. So I haven't had time to make content, but now we're getting settled. Things are kind of calming down. So we have a lot of time left now, or are we getting some time now? Someone said, hey, if no one has told you recently, you are amazing and the work you do is a blessing. I appreciate that. Let me see. The comments just jumped. What do you think about J-Lo, Ben getting married? I love it. If you like it, I love it. Love and respect. Thank you so much for the super chat. Who was that? And what does she have to say? Erica Robinson, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. She said, "Come on, let's support. Sorry, I can't stay. Can't wait to watch this later." Yeah, it's gonna be a short one, but I'll be doing lives on a much regular basis now, a much more regular basis because I have an office. We have a bigger place. I can go upstairs and go live. I can come downstairs and go live. If it gets too rowdy, there's always a place for me to go live. So we'll be doing a lot more content this year and a lot less car videos. And I'm so thankful for that. I hate the damn car. I hate the car videos. Anyway, thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate you. And yes, let's support what she said. So I don't know a lot about J Lo and Ben's relationship. Um, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not aware of celebrity relationships, but Ben and J Lo are a little bit outside of my cultural space. So I damn sure don't know anything about Ben Affleck, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. All I know about Ben Affleck is whatever Eminem said about him and Christina Aguilera and the Marshall Mathers LP years and years ago. So that tells you how informed I am about them. I like that two people have grown and seemingly learned from their mistakes in other relationships and decided that maybe they missed something special when they were together. So that's a very positive thing. I think that everyone has the propensity to either grow, change, or evolve, but they have to need that for themselves. They have to want it for themselves. So maybe they've done that. I don't know. Dola Dolas just said, Dala Dolas. Dollar dollars. Disregard. She just said, "I just discovered your content and I appreciate it and thank you for your post." Ditto. Thank you for watching. If we all close, CC Sweet says, "If we all close our legs, we could change the world." I hate to say it, but it's absolutely right. I think men destroy the world, and women have this ability to magnify and purify and edify everything around them. But they can't be following the men. The men are pretty barbaric in everything they do, pretty simple in everything they do. As a whole, all the wars in this world are fought by men fighting over power. The most alpha country, the most rich country, the most prosperous country. Men start and pretty much dominate every world issue. Now, some of them are influenced by women and the nature to conquer women and have women and the access to them. But for the most part, men are the world's biggest issue. Even so, to the point, if we all close our legs, we could change the world. That's absolutely right. Men do exactly what it takes to get women. They literally do whatever it takes. If there's no, like, if a woman told, like I always say this, if a woman said, "You know what, we only screw men who pick up trash," every guy would have a gold encrusted, diamond encrusted trash picker upper, because they do whatever it takes to get women, to get access to women, because women are seen as wealth. And unfortunately enough, that they are materialized, they are objectified, but they are also a highly sought after treasure to most men, even men who don't realize how much they live for women and the attention in the eyes of women. So yes, to a certain degree, that point is very true. It sounds a little bit crass. I can't say it as a guy. I wouldn't say it, but I can definitely agree that there's some power in women as a whole deciding what the new standards for men are. The problem is everyone refuses to, and they just follow whatever men does or decide is going to be the culture. And dating culture now is being dictated by men, and men with microphones and podcast equipment. So it's getting really terrible. But yeah, women still have power. Do you think getting back with an ex is okay? Yeah, if both of you have evolved and moved on and learned from your mistakes and learned from your experiences prior to and after your relationship, yeah. It just depends on why they're the ex. There's a lot of good reasons to never talk to a person again. But if they don't fall within a lot of those, then yeah, you could probably back with an ex, as long as it wasn't a betrayal or a respect thing or a beliefs and principles type of thing. You can get back with them. But they have to approve, and you have to improve, and you have to obviously be compatible as improved versions of yourself. So that's just something that would be very, very specific to the couple and individuals. Afternoon from California. Yeah, I didn't think I would get a lot of Cali people in here because it's 5:23 on the East Coast. I'm not in the East Coast. I'm in Ohio, but it's 5:23 in the Midwest and in the East Coast. So I would imagine a lot of people in Cali still at work. Let me see. Hi, Cat. Finally, a live video. Yeah, I do lives about once a month. I've been pretty consistent to do them once a month, and or on Super Pair, where I was doing them weekly for a time, and I'm gonna go back to doing them on Super Pair just to make sure that I honor that commitment I made to those people to do it. But yeah, I've been live. You just got to be listening. You got to be paying attention, and you got to have your notification bell on, and you got to have your community tab notifications on. So when I say something, you see it. Because I generally announce it. I just didn't announce it today because I didn't know I was going to go live until right before I did it. How to deal with men who will pull away when you stick to your boundaries. You don't deal with them. That's the point. That's the magnificent point. Somebody asked Vanessa Smith, how to deal with men who will pull away when you stick to your boundaries. You don't deal with them. You allow them to pull away, right? Practice no resistance. Whatever is in alignment with you will gravitate towards you. Whatever is not for you and is out of alignment will move away from you. You don't have to deal with people who move away from you. You don't have to deal with people who create space, who create distance, who give you resistance to boundaries, right? Boundaries are generally not even you trying to control someone, you just controlling what you accept, right? Boundaries aren't even invasive or offensive in nature, they're defensive. So for a person to pull away when you stick to your boundaries, they're doing you a favor. Rejection is the greatest gift that you can get from some people. But being afraid of rejection is the greatest curse that you can give yourself because you'll betray yourself trying to avoid rejection. So yeah, if somebody doesn't like your boundaries, that's fine. Let them move on. They're going to make space for people who will respect your boundaries. They're going to make space for people who are in alignment with you, right? So I don't want you to do anything, Vanessa Smith, to a man and for a man and with a man who doesn't respect your boundaries and who's pulling away. Because what it turns into you doing is really becoming pretty controllable and malleable to keep their presence. And that's what they're doing, this strategic neglect, this strategic invalidation. If I step away from you when you give me a rule I don't like, you put that rule down because you would much rather have me than have that rule and be alone or be with someone else, right? So I can control you through your boundaries if you're not willing to stick to them. That's why boundaries are so important, because boundaries are a weapon in your hand or sword in your enemy's hand, depending on how you respect your boundaries. If you don't respect your boundaries, then a man can weaponize your so-called boundaries against you, because every time you call his bluff, he's gonna do something to control you, to bullshit you, to scare you, and to induce anxiety, so that you put that boundary down, give him more power over your control, over your decisions, over your heart. For what? For his presence, just so he doesn't walk away or pull away. That's how most players and most of these red pill woman dominators. That's how they act. It's all about power, and so you give a man your power when you put your boundaries down to continue to deal with him, despite the fact that he's shown that he's unfit and ill-equipped. So don't. What's your opinion about getting back with the ex? I think I'm sorry, I already read that. Let me see. What's crap? The comments just jumped. I'm just going to read from where I'm at. Somebody said, I'm an older woman and I like someone younger. I saw your post on it. Is it always that way? Pamela Taylor. First of all, Pamela, thank you for watching. And thank you for understanding that that wasn't an attack on older women. Most of the people were offended on behalf of older women, which is generally like that. Even so, those were realities that we all know exist, right? And I'm not here to BS people about what's going on. I coach 5,000 women or more. I'm not just making videos, and so people forget that I'm having these conversations with these women, learning these things, trying to help them through these things. I'm not just some guy talking to a camera, making videos, making shit up. And so it's easy for somebody to watch a video, not like what I say because it offends somebody, or because it can be it offends their some sensibilities, and then say, "Oh, well, you're just being offensive." No, it's not always that way, Pamela. Older women also are very alluring. I did another video about how younger men are very attracted to older women because of their nurturing, because of their leadership, because of their experience and their wisdom and their spiritual power. So I've done a couple of videos on younger women and older men, or younger men and older women. So search my channel a few months before that. I think I did a video about a different dynamic that comes from that same situation. So no, it's not always that way. There are a lot of different motivations for young men and older women. Like I said, one of which is that motherly energy, that spiritual leadership, that maturity, that wisdom that they get from a woman, that teach me, that kind of mom thing that they have, that they haven't been able to conquer. It turns into a romantic a conquest. Some people don't have mother issues, but they still like that energy because it's powerful, and they might not know anybody who's that dependable, who's that sturdy, who's that strong or powerful or capable. So it's a lot of things that lure a young man to an older woman. But sometimes an older woman is being preyed upon by a younger man who sees her sexuality and understands that she's very, very vulnerable to that. So yes, there are a few different dynamics that take place there. So no, it's not always that way. um, Somebody said, "What do you think about a woman who is suing a man for 10K because of a date?" Oh, yo, I'm about to write that down because I seen it on Ball Alert. I seen it on something. Woman sues man. I'm gonna text it to my wife, so I'll do a video on it tomorrow. So stay tuned tomorrow. I'll do a video on the first thing in the morning. I be having time now to do videos just because again my house is a little bit bigger, well, a lot bigger, and I don't have to like wait till everybody goes to sleep. That's why my content was so iffy anyway. I had to wait till 2 a.m. and it was just weird. But I'll do a video about that tomorrow. I'm gonna put that on my notes. Man, I love having an office. It's cool. I got like a notebook here, glass table. It's beautiful. Woman sues man for date. We're gonna look into this because I saw it today and I didn't get to look into it for date. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. I'll do a whole video about it in the morning after I get my workout in. So somebody said Nancy Love and respect to Nancy Sinclair. She said, and thank you for your super chat. First of all, I seen your super chat. She said, "Hey, coach, it's your biggest fan. I recently dated this guy." Sorry it took me so long to get to your question, Nancy. I apologize. She said, "I recently dated this guy. He told me he wants me to be his complete girlfriend. Not having sex makes me his half girlfriend. So we had no sex. Why do guys say this?" Those are his values, principles, and beliefs. I think this is a portion of his possessive nature. And again, people are imperfect. People have their own quirks and their own conditioning, right? At what point does he believe that you become his complete girlfriend? Being sex, it doesn't make any sense because, to my knowledge and in my talkings with you, you're looking for marriage, right? Where does he fall on your ultimate goal of marriage? Where does he fall on your ultimate goal of a family? Right? That would make sense to me. If you were in alignment, you don't get to understand what my boundaries are, understand what my goals are, and then debate with me about whether or not I've accepted you on those terms, and then I've taken it back once I've gotten your heart. I don't think that's right. I think that it's okay for him to have that preference. I'm not vilifying him for having that preference. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he just desires you. But if he got with you and he kind of garnered your love from you, knowing that your boundary was sex before marriage, then I don't know if it's right to have done that. And it doesn't sound like you've been together for very long because I've talked to you over the times. I haven't talked to you recently, but I don't know if it's been long enough for this to be the issue that you're facing in this relationship right now. Do me a favor, Nancy, text me and give me a little bit more context because I want to help you. And like I said, I've been working with you for a while and on and off. So text my phone and give me some context, or hit me on DM me on Instagram and give me some more context so I can figure out how this misunderstanding happened. But guys say that because they want sexual access. And it becomes a very, very pronounced goal of theirs once they believe they deserve it. And so we have to figure out if he's bent on that, if he's committed to that, or if it's something that he's going to respect because it's a boundary you've always had. You've had it for quite some time. I'm sure you've already expressed it to him. And what type of half boyfriend is he? Like, how does he treat you? What things are you getting from this relationship that you wouldn't have gotten, or that you were not getting as a single woman, or your other accessory relationships with men? Like, I need to know a little bit more about this guy. But if your boundary is sex and you don't want to have it till marriage, then it's pretty much an open and shut case. But he's allowed to want you. He's allowed to desire you. He's allowed to request. My house still jumping, but he's allowed to request things. You're just allowed to be like, nah, I guess I'll be your half girlfriend until I get a ring. If that's again still your goal, and so let me know what your goals are and if they've evolved, and contact me and we'll talk about that. Um, mm. But men used to decipher from thoughts and non-thoughts, though. Oh yeah, what's up, JC? Love and respect, bro. He said men used to decipher from thoughts and non-thoughts, though. We still do, but the problem is that the good women keep looking at the thoughts and male thoughts and getting jealous of their attention. That is a thing. I think we comparison is the killer of all joy. I know Kevin Gates said that, but it was a famous wise quote before Kevin Gates said it. Like Kevin Gates, whatever, But I feel like we start to compare ourselves to the experience we assume other people are having, and it steals away from our joy and our own conviction. We want love, we want health, we want acceptance, we want genuine connections, and then we see people who don't value these things but are having a physical time, and we think that their pleasure is happiness, and we always confuse it. And so while we might have peace because we've stood on our convictions, people who haven't stood on convictions or don't have any convictions are having the time of their lives, right? And so we look at their pleasure and we think that that's happiness. It starts to look like happiness to us. But happiness isn't pleasure, and pleasure isn't happiness. They are two separate entities, right? So when a person is having a good time in our face while we're a little bit bored, it starts to really wear away at whatever discipline we have toward our own boundaries, goals, principles, morals, values, beliefs, all of those things. It's not one of those things that you want to observe too closely. People who don't share your convictions. If you want to look at the people and look at what can be gained from your convictions, whether you're a thought or non-thought, as JC said, look at the people who share your convictions. And if you're going to compare yourself to like minds, because I can compare myself to a pimp or a stripper all I want to. And no disrespect to strippers. A lot of strippers watch me and they get a lot of gain from me. So I'm not disrespecting strippers. I think pimps are the scum of the earth because they kidnap young women, blah, 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 blah. But I think that if I'm looking at the pimps and the strippers and I'm watching the money they make and I'm watching the type of lifestyle they live, and then I'm trying to just do the right non-sexual wholesome thing because I think it's right and my convictions say it's right, whether or not I'm right or wrong for having those convictions, whether or not we share beliefs, I'm watching their experience and it looks a lot better than mine, right? It looks a lot more fun than mine. I can't then betray my morals, values, beliefs, principles, boundaries, all of these things, and then go try to be them because I won't find happiness because now I'm betraying myself. I'm betraying all of the convictions that I have, whether or not they be better or worse than theirs. So JC has a very good point. Sometimes we need to stop looking at what everybody else is doing and focus at least on like minds if we're going to compare ourselves at all. But yeah, the thoughts and non-thoughts, everybody get the thoughts are definitely get all the attention. Mariah Washington, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that super chat button. And YouTube has like a super thanks. It's basically like a tip jar. That's cool too. Every little bit counts. I'm not mad at all about anybody sharing the wealth with me. Like I said, it really goes to helping my family. I got a family of four, and I'm the breadwinner. So, like I said, it just helps them. It pays their way for the time they give me up to y'all. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for being generous with me. Somebody said, what do you think of men more recently wanting to be 50-50 in every aspect? Okay, so tomorrow morning, I was actually going to start a discussion. And you know what? If you put your 50-50 comments in this live, since you're here, if you have a comment, because I had a few comments from my last live where people were arguing about whether or not 50-50 was a scam on women and things of that nature. And so I really want to know about, for those of you who think 50-50 is a scam, where do you stand on other male-female issues, women's equality issues, gender roles, things of that nature? I want to know if the balance that I expect and hope is there is actually there. I think 50-50 is one of those things where people generally are pretty passionate about their experience, so they make strong statements, but everybody is different and everyone has a different life experience. A lot of people with it have a different opinion than other people who has gone without with it. So if you're part of the haves or part of the have-nots, you might have a different opinion about 50-50. If you've had healthy relationships or transactional relationships, you have a different opinion about 50-50. I don't think men wanting to be 50-50 in every aspect is a good thing, but I believe in traditional gender roles, not necessarily like, the placement of women in society. In fact, I believe in a matriarchal society would save the world. Unfortunately enough, we have a patriarchy. But I do believe in a man's responsibility and a woman's responsibility, once established, once agreed upon, should be honored. And whether or not that's a 50-50 role in your house or 100-0 or whatever, I think that two people agreeing upon their beliefs is the more important part, being in alignment with each other again. And not receiving that resistance by being in misalignment with each other. So that's where I'm at with that. But I don't think men being 50-50 in every aspect is it's not really realistic. It would just be a man controlling a woman through the burden of him making her do half of the shit he thinks he needs to do because he's a man, and pushing a resentment toward the male roles back onto a woman and stressing her out with the stuff that society has traditionally told him to do. I think sometimes men are being 50-50 out of spite, not out of necessity, because we can't 50-50 in every aspect. I'm a provider. I'm a protector. I'm 6'3", 210, 220. I'm fighting. I'm killing. I'm stabbing. I'm shooting if somebody come in here, right? We can't split that. I don't want my woman fighting, right? And if I have the means, if I have the ability to provide more than my woman can provide, and I can provide multiple, 5 times over or 6 times over than what she could provide in the profession she was in, right? Why would I want her to still go to work for crumbs while I could just take care of the money and she could just take care of those children? And why then does that responsibility of taking care of the children, why doesn't it get seen as a bigger role? Like, you're not just sitting on your ass, you're raising my seeds, my kids, right? That's the most important thing. That's the reason I live. So again, it's still 50-50 to me, but it's a more healthy, balanced, gender role based 50-50, but it's based on respect of a woman's capability, not a disdain for women or a resentment of the male role. So I'm a little bit weird because I believe in gender roles, but I also believe in equality. And so the gender roles are based on responsibilities and strengths, the male strength and the women's strength coming together and being in alignment and being in synchronicity, not just forcing the woman to do everything the man does just so he doesn't think that he's, tricking off or simping or some dumb shit like that. So I'm in disagreement with most of those guys because they're not coming from a place of love or respect of a woman's capability when they're talking about 50-50. They just want to see a woman suffer in ways they believe themselves to be suffering. And that's just some weak shit. Anyway, how to step out of an F buddy situation. Stop effing. Pretty much it. First of all, F buddies are interesting. They serve a purpose. People say they have needs. I believe it. That's what's up. You got your needs, and if it's healthy for you, you're not emotionally invested, then yes, I believe in F buddies can be a very, very good thing. It can keep your body count low because a lot of men are very, very sensitive to body count. And I'm one of those types of guys. So as much as y'all might shit on them, call them weak, this, that, and other, I just don't want to be walking in the mall and everybody done smash my woman and be looking at her and be like, yeah, that nigga buying the shoes right there. Yeah, I hate that. That girl, where you with? Yeah. I don't like that. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm not that guy. I'm a man of respect. I like to have a set apart experience, and I want to give a set apart experience. So for me, it's different. So, and I'm not all in y'all, female things or organs or whatever. I'm just saying, a lot of men are like that. So for me, the F buddy situation, I would much rather a woman had like that than 10 partners or 25 or 52. Even so, how to step out of that situation? It would seem to me that you just stop effing, and if that buddy is really a friend, then they'll stay in your life. If they're not really a friend, then they'll just find another F buddy, a cuddle buddy, or whatever you call it. If you want to be more than an F buddy, then you have to establish more than a sexual relationship, and so you have to put that on pause and kind of abstain from each other in that way. If you don't have the power to do that, then you don't have the power to change that situation. JC, and thinking you have to change or clench up more, which they didn't have to do much because they were already good before. Okay, I missed the Kev, shout the super chat. I appreciate you. Shout out to super chat. Did I miss one? I probably if you gave like $2, if you gave like $2, YouTube doesn't show me that unless I scroll through in the comments. So if I missed the super chat, Jewels, or whoever's super chat, I do apologize. But YouTube only shows you above $2, which I think is weird. But yeah, super chats are definitely welcome. Okay, the comments just skipped. I know I just missed a lot, but I did save the comments. I set it to where it would save the comments, so I can go back and do video responses to whatever questions I missed while I'm here. Let me see if somebody asked me a question down here because exactly, I agree, Kev. Will be embarrassed. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, look, I'm not trying to shit on people, and there's a lot of people in the comment section with a lot of body count. So I'm not trying to disrespect them. I'm just saying that people talk about preference all the time. My preference would just be the point about body counts for me specifically is whatever shame that a woman might avoid in being upfront or avoiding the subject matter or saying it's nobody's business how many she's been with. That's like I understand that completely. It's no one's business. But the shame that you avoid will be thrust upon the man because people will shame him for being the one to what what I'm saying. Like, so there's going to be some shame, and so I would much rather own up to whatever stupid things that I've done or things that I'm not particularly proud of or things that I don't think that society accepts. If I'm concerned about how someone in society sees me, Joel's love and respect. Thank you for the $5 super chat. It's about just taking it on the chin for whatever. And I think I'm at a point where I don't really care what people think about me, but I do want my respect. And for me, and respect is everything. And sometimes it compromises our respect to have a non-exclusive experience with someone who's been pretty non-exclusive with many people. So that's the issue. It's not that she's less lovable, less worthy, less powerful, less capable, less intelligent, less this or that. It's just that there's some shame involved, and if you're not willing to take it on, the man will. And even if men are snickering or talking behind his back, people don't want to be that. They don't want to be the stigma, and it's just the nature of man. And no, you don't have to discuss body count. Them old fall off like a credit score. And remember, there's no pics in the video. Y'all ain't smash. That's what's up. Absolute love and respect. Absolute, dude, saying what you got to say. Hey, and love and respect to you. There's no shade from me. I'm not gonna bullshit y'all about nothing. Dark Dahlia, love and respect. She says, and thank you so much for the euros. I don't get euros often. She says, hey Kev, I have a father figure known from young, not bio dad. Never once been inappropriate, now supporting me in uni overseas. Can a man genuinely support a non-bio child without an agenda? Absolutely. Hell yeah, absolutely. I mean, just because he's a man doesn't mean he's incapable of goodness, right? Of good Samaritanism. Hell, just like he's supporting you and he's your non-bio dad. He sees something in you. He just wanted the best for you. And I don't know this person, so I'm not assuming he's a perfect person, but I can just tell you from experience, I've wanted the best for a lot of people, and I've supported people who I didn't want anything from. The only reason I support them is because I can't get anything from them. Like, I don't want to support people in expectation of anything. Today, a person told me today that because I've been helping them so much, they want to start paying me because I've been doing it for free for so long. And it was like, really? Like, I hadn't thought of it. And, and sometimes you put a weight on somebody when you help them and help them and help them, they have to figure out why you're helping them. And if they can't, they try to create the reason why. Well, I'll help you back. I don't think that he's incapable of just wanting the best for you. Maybe he sees himself in you. Maybe he cares about the people who care for you. I've done a lot of things for people that I didn't know because people I know love them. So no, it's hell. I'm mentoring 2 people right now. One I care about, one I love. The other I don't know at all. I just met the guy, and he was a young man. He was inspired. It came over to do some work on my house, and now I'm mentoring him. So I don't need nothing from him. He can't do anything for me. But so men are capable of goodness, and it doesn't stop at me or YouTubers that we like. A lot of people are good people out here. Humans are good. Mariah Washington, love and respect. Thank you so much for the $10 super the $5 super chat. Let me see what she said. She didn't say nothing, just showing love. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let me see. Somebody said, I know I'm missing a lot of questions. Um, oh, she said, "How do you attach your mattress?" Oh, you figured it out, Mariah. I'm glad you figured it out. The dollar sign. If you hit the dollar sign, you can attach your message to Super Chat. Now, I remember. I think I'm leaving at 55 after, so I got about 7 minutes, and it's a hard 7 minutes too. Somebody said, we went to law school together and had a lot of catching up to do. It started off innocent, but I think we both caught feelings. I pulled back because I felt it wasn't right, but I miss him. I probably need more context. You didn't describe a reason that y'all didn't go further. So I probably need more context, and maybe you were discussing that with someone else. How can you tell if a man is truly ready for a relationship versus not wanting a relationship with me specifically? I think we need to get around this fear of asking hard questions. I think that being very specific about what you ask and what you discuss with a person, how you talk to a person is the first step. Being able to be transparent and just your curiosities. We do too much protecting ourselves, trying to save face, not wanting to be looked at as thirsty or this or that, when there are conversations that you're supposed to be having before you even have these emotions and things of that nature. When a man's been pressing you, he's been on you, he's been flirting with you, you're supposed to be like, listen, I understand, you see pretty women all the time. I understand that you're attracted to women and you're allowed to be attracted to me. That's the prerequisite for a relationship. But what specifically do you want from me? What is your goal? You've observed me, you've approached me, you've pursued me. What do you want from me? What is your end goal? In the perfect world, what would happen between us that you're looking for? What are you pursuing exactly? Right? Are you just looking to chill, vibe out, have a good time, or do you want a girlfriend? Do you want me as a girlfriend? What is your vision? You need to be very specific. Stop avoiding those hard questions. Too often, men get away with shit just because women are too afraid to just ask the question and to be transparent because no one wants to seem vulnerable. Um, uh, he said, answer Nana's question. She and other can understand how players do these women. Let me look for Nana's question. It's looked like some porn people are in here. Again, I don't have a. My wife is not moderating today, so if you see porn people or whoever else they might be, just ignore them because I don't know what the hell. I'm looking for Nana's question. Okay, Nana Powers. Um, I need to see the first part of her question. Okay, it was platonic, but so Nana's question was a multi-part. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through I'm gonna go through Nana's question and look when I get off here because I got like 6 minutes, so it's gonna take me a long time to probably find it. The comment section skipping around, so I'll look at Nana's question, and JC, DM me the screenshots of the important parts of the question and kind of where your mind is at with what you want me to explain to them. And I got you. Don't worry about it. I got a whole bunch of you blocked them. I appreciate you, Cindy D. So yeah, let me jump back into this. How do you heal from a man who crushed your spirits by lying, cheating, manipulating, and making you out to be less than? I keep feeling I have to prove myself, and it's been years. You can't prove yourself. In fact, you don't want to prove anything to anybody. Remember, I was talking about alignment and just practicing no resistance. Like the things that are for you will be yours, and the things that aren't for you will hurt. They'll be rough. They'll injure you. You find yourself to be injured, you don't never prove anything to anybody. If you just made that a rule, if that was the only dating advice you ever took from anyone, never prove yourself to anyone. If you feel like you have to prove who you are, then they're not watching, they're not observing close enough, and that's because they don't want to know you. They're not looking to see any value in you. They're looking to make use of you, right? Because you don't have to prove any value to a person who already sees value in you. And the only people who will truly love you are the people who think you are truly valuable, the people who have faith in you, the people who think you are powerful, the people who admire you and trust and believe. As much as we talk about how a man is supposed to show up and be masculine and this or that, and a woman is supposed to look at a man and be inspired and learn from him and follow him and be taught by him, all of this shit, true enough. But that also goes both ways. Most powerful men, most capable men, most smart men, most men of inward wisdom want to admire the woman that they date. A man will date your body. He'll screw your body, but he'll marry your mindset. And if a man doesn't admire your thinking, he doesn't admire your behavior, he doesn't admire your ways, he doesn't feel like he's made better and influenced to be better around you, if he doesn't admire you, then yes, you'll always have to prove yourself to be adequate. But when a man wants you, a man loves you, you don't have to prove a damn thing because he's already observed these things in you. And what he's chasing is those things he admires in you. And that's how two people see value in each other. That's how men and women are supposed to be seeing each other instead of just look, what do you bring to the table? What kind of bullshit? Like, I've never even thought to ask that shit because if I've been there on a date, if I've been in front of a woman, I've seen what she does. I've observed her. I've listened to her words. I've listened to her. I've observed her actions. I've studied that woman because I'm making a decision for me and I'm trying to keep myself safe. I'm trying to keep my seed safe if I was to accidentally get this woman pregnant, if it got to that point. So I'm doing investigation. So for me, you heal from that person by getting away from them and by creating a rule for yourself to only deal with people who validate you, only deal with people who love, only deal with people who want you there. Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. I did a video on the Kev Hick Talks to Life channel, and I haven't done many videos, like 11 videos on there in a couple of years. But one of the first videos I did was about kind of guarding your self-esteem, and I think that video will be good for you. So go to the Kev Hick Talks Life channel. I think you can find it through the channels tab on my homepage on YouTube. And check that video out. It's only 11 videos on there, I think, or 13. So it's not going to be hard to find, but watch that video. It'll probably be very good for you. And I will be uploading on the Kev Hick Talks Live channel too, because I got this office. I got extra time. I can record right All right. 2 minutes and I'm getting off here and I got to run upstairs and I got a video call. Check that video out and then reapproach, because I feel like you're breaking a rule that doesn't just hurt you in relationships, it hurts you in life in general when you are looking to prove yourself. If somebody makes you prove anything, then they'll never be good enough. They'll never be worthy of the time that it takes and the effort that it takes to prove yourself. Closure is a blind concept. Learn to walk away and be okay with it, Aubrey. Absolutely. Yeah, closure is a figment of your imagination. Closure is what we do. It's what we tell each other and tell ourselves when we want to have one last conversation that we hope goes different and that we hope goes in a different direction. We want them to be sorry and feel the finality of our breakup and have a closure conversation so we can finally get them to see how serious we are about leaving when we're really not. The need for a closure conversation is a demonstration that you're not ready to go and that this isn't really a closure conversation. It's not about closure at all. It's about staying. Closure is a figment of your imagination. Stop seeking closure and seek peace and wisdom. Man, listen, I got to ride out. I got to go. I will probably jump back on here tomorrow. I know I said that last week, but I was still trying to build my office. I was still trying to get it together. Y'all forgive the big cats in the crown. Y'all know Black people love big cats and crowns and apex predators and all kind of shit. I remember in the 90s, everybody's mama had like a panther or a tiger table under the glass with hippos and gorillas and shit all over the place, and they thought the apartments was laid out. Maybe it's something about Africa. I don't know. But anyway, I'm really enjoying my office, and so I plan on doing a lot more lives, a lot more videos. I got a place to record, and I appreciate you guys for watching, for listening. Please go to girltalkwithguys.com. It's the very first comment in this live if you need to know where to go. If you want to book a call, my schedule's a little bit more open now, so I do have some time for y'all. Please book up before it gets, because I only have I do like 2 sessions a day most days. So I'm not doing a lot of calls. It's just a couple of calls a day. I'm not beating myself up about calls, but I do want to continue to be available and help people. So thanks for joining the live. I'll look at these comments and any comment that I find particularly interesting. Tomorrow I'll do a video on before I do the video about the woman suing for the bad date. I think that's going to be interesting. I seen it today or yesterday. I just didn't get to look at it. I didn't get to open the article, but I will tomorrow. So y'all be cool. I got to jump on the phone.